Welcome to Easy Maths. This is the second lesson in my series of lessons on the topic of sequences and series. I had earlier said in a previous lesson that we are going to be focusing on one half of the lessons. We're going to be looking at arithmetic sequence, and the other half we're going to be looking at geometric sequence. And so I have dedicated this particular lesson to just differentiating between the two of them, maybe drawing a comparison or a contrast between the two sequences. And let's begin. Now, an arithmetic sequence is different from a geometric sequence in that an arithmetic sequence is a sequence in which consecutive numbers have what we call a common difference, and the common difference is represented by letter D, a small letter d or lowercase letter d. On the contrary, geometric sequence is a sequence in which consecutive numbers have a common ratio or a common number, which we normally represent by a small letter r or lowercase letter r. So that is the first contrast between the two sequences. When we call it arithmetic, there is what we call common difference, represented by a small letter d. When we call it a geometric sequence, there is what we call common ratio or common number, represented by lowercase letter r. An example of an arithmetic sequence is where we have 1, 4, 7, 10. And in this series, or in this sequence, we have what we call the common difference, the one I've just defined earlier here. And in our case, it's 3. So that means to get the next number, according to this statement here, to get the next number, I'm adding 3. For example, I have 1 plus 3 is 4, 4 plus 3 is 7, 7 plus 3 is 10, 10 plus 3 is 13, which is going to be the next number in the sequence. 13 plus 3 is 16, and that pattern continues. So common difference is 3, and that means any two numbers, they have a difference of 3 between the two of them. Please notice also what I've said there, that 3 is what is added to obtain the next number. In that case there, we are talking about an arithmetic sequence. So when I talk about arithmetic sequence, there's an aspect of addition, and that addition is adding common difference, and that common difference is represented by a small letter d. On the contrary, we have what we call geometric sequence. An example would be 1, 5, 25, 125. Now in this case, we have what we call the common ratio, the one we defined earlier here, and in this case it's 5. And that means that to get the next number, we are multiplying by 5. So we have 1 times 5 is 5. 5 times 5 is 125. 25. So 1 times 5 is 5. 5 times 5 is 25. 25 times 5 is 125. And therefore that tells you something. When you're talking about geometric sequence, we are talking about something that has to do with multiplication to get the next number. In our case, it just happens that number is 5. And please notice that we can go forever to get the next number, but we always know how to get the next number. When it's geometric, we are multiplying. When it's arithmetic, we are adding. Now, the common difference for arithmetic is small d. For common ratio in geometric sequence, it's small r. And please master it that way even as we begin our series of lessons on the topic of sequences series. I thought that is important. Now from this time, we're going to be focusing a lot more attention now on the area of arithmetic sequence, all the way up to what an arithmetic series is. And then later on, we'll be looking at the geometric sequence. And as always, please like, share, subscribe. I'll appreciate your support. Thank you.